welcome. Today we are discussing about the relevance of letters to the editor, its history, how it has grown over the years, and how a student of journalism must know how to write a letter to the editor. So in the previous lecture we were discussing about the elements of writing a letter to the editor. So when you are working on a letter, you must know why you are writing this letter, to whom you are addressing it to, the reason behind it, and what exactly you want to achieve by writing that letter. So you have to tailor your letter to the paper, research about the trends and samples of the publication you are writing for. A local publication may look for smaller community focused letters, whereas a national publication will look for letters that cover wider society based issues. Follow the newspaper's guidelines carefully about the submission process. Most outlets publish instructions on how to submit a letter. The directions will include the word limit, email address to send the letter to, and other guidelines like what the paper usually looks for in a letter to the editor. Then you share your expertise. If you are specifically qualified to speak on the topic you are addressing, then be sure to include that in your letter. Your expertise may add weight to your opinion. For example, a doctor's opinion on a health crisis is often considered more valuable than anybody else. Advocate and make a call for action. Pick a pressing issue and make a call for the accountable authorities to take action for positive change. Utilize the LTE to directly reach out to officials, politicians, legislators, and judicial officers. LTEs are an official platform for citizens to make demands for suitable actions by the concerned authorities. So, what are the types of letters to the editor? This again is something important which all of you must know. LTEs have long been a significant part of newspapers and journals and magazines, functioning as a bridge between the public and the press. These letters offer readers the chance to express their views, provide feedback, share personal stories, or advocate for change. To understand the impact and purpose of these letters, it is essential to delve into the types of LTEs that contribute to media and the public dialogue. So, the first and foremost is opinion letters. Opinion letters are submissions where readers can express their personal viewpoints or provide an in-depth analysis on current issues, published articles, or topics of interest. Opinion LTEs often come from readers who have strong beliefs or specific expertise related to the subject. These letters may introduce new perspectives, propose alternative solutions, or critique opinions shared by others. It also contributes to the concept of convergence culture where public and professional voices merge, creating a space where multiple perspectives are acknowledged and debated, thus enhancing the democratic function of journalism. For example, a healthcare professional submitting a letter analyzing a recent piece on public health policy, adding nuanced insights into the discussion. Then the second type is advocacy letters. They aim to champion specific cause or promote awareness of any social, political, or environmental issues. The writers of such letters often use persuasive language to motivate readers and encourage them to support or take action for a cause. It can help set the public agenda by raising visibility for issues that may not receive ample media coverage. Thus, in turn, can prompt broader media attention and influence public policy and opinion. For example, a non-profit organization might write an LTE advocating for stronger environmental protections, citing recent data on climate change and urging readers to participate in an upcoming rally. Third could be complaint or critical letters. These letters serve as an essential channel for public feedback, highlighting grievances regarding media content, public policies, or other societal issues. They can address perceived biases, inaccuracies, or omissions in reporting. Critical letters can act as a check on media power. They push editors and journalists to maintain higher standards of accuracy and fairness as readers call attention to potential biases or errors. Number 4 is appreciation letters. Appreciation letters are positive responses that command the publication for specific articles or journalistic efforts. They foster goodwill and encourage continued coverage of certain topics, reinforce the bond between publication and its readers. Pavlik suggests that they boost the morale of the journalists and signal to editors which stories resonate with audiences, potentially influencing future content. A community member may write to thank a newspaper for a well-researched piece on local volunteer initiatives, praising the journalist's depth of reporting. Number 5 is call to action letters. These letters aim to mobilize readers around a cause or an event. They emphasize urgency and often provide details on how readers can participate or contribute. They are a form of participatory journalism where readers act as mobilizers. Call to action letters blurs the line between creators and consumers by engaging readers in activism and fostering a sense of community responsibility. Publications that include these letters position themselves as an active participant in civic discourse. For example, a community leader may write an LTE encouraging residents to attend a local town hall meeting or volunteer for a cleanup initiative. Number 6 is personal experience letters. These letters share first-hand stories that relate to broader societal issues or something which is recently news. These LTEs add depth and context to public discussions by bringing in real-life perspectives that statistics or expert analysis might overlook. It is found that such narratives are powerful tools for evoking empathy and fostering a sense of shared experience among readers. Personal stories can humanize complex issues, making them more relatable and impactful. For researchers, these letters can serve as qualitative data points illustrating how macro issues impact individuals at a micro level. For example, a reader shares a first-hand account of navigating healthcare challenges after an article about medical access in rural areas. Then there is something which is related to clarification or correction of letters. These letters aim to rectify inaccuracies or misrepresentations in public content. They are often written by subject matter experts or individuals directly involved in the subject matter. These letters serve to maintain the accuracy and reliability of published information. They play a crucial role in preserving the credibility of media outlets. By showing openness to corrections and expert feedback, publications reinforce their commitment to accurate and trustworthy reporting. For example, a scientist might write to correct misrepresented data in an article on climate science. Then what is the role of letter to the editor in media and journalism? This again is a very important segment to understand. Letters to the editor have long been a hallmark of participatory journalism, bridging the gap between readers and the media organizations. They provide readers a platform to articulate and express their thoughts, opinions, and reactions to the published content. It contributes to a democratic media landscape where the voices of the public can challenge, support, or provide new perspectives on various topics. Historically, LTEs have allowed newspapers and magazines to foster reader engagement, giving audiences a sense of ownership and involvement in the conversation. In the modern digital era, where communication has shifted to online platforms, LTEs have adopted but still hold significant value. They continue to offer a structured space for public discourse that helps maintain transparency and accountability in journalism. We can explore the multifaceted roles of LTs with the help of several examples. So, fostering civic engagement. LTs enable citizens to actively participate in public discourse by sharing opinions on societal issues, policies, and news coverage. This engagement strengthens democracy by encouraging public dialogue and providing a channel for expressing diverse views. For example, during significant policy debates or elections, newspapers often receive a surge of LTs from readers voicing their support, concerns, or calls for action. Such letters highlight issues that resonate with the public and can drive broader conversations within communities. Then is amplifying diverse opinions. LDs give a voice to individuals who may not have the access to formal media platforms, allowing underrepresented groups to share their experiences and opinions. This inclusion enriches the media landscape by presenting multiple perspectives and highlighting stories that may not be covered extensively. For example, LTEs have historically been used by activists to bring attention to social injustices and mobilize public support. These letters can be powerful tools for raising awareness and driving change on issues such as civil rights, environmental concerns, and public health. Providing feedback and accountability. LTs act as a feedback mechanism for media organizations. When readers respond to articles or editorials, they provide insight into how public perceive the coverage. This feedback can influence future editorial decisions and encourage more balanced reporting. For instance, if an article receives multiple LTs pointing out biases or factual inaccuracies, editors are often prompted to issue clarifications or adjustments. This interaction helps maintain journalistic integrity and accountability, ensuring that news outlets remain responsive to their audiences. Influencing public opinion and policy. Well-crafted LTEs can shape public opinion and sometimes even impact policy decisions. When published in widely read newspapers or magazines, these letters reach influential policymakers and stakeholders who may take public sentiment into account. For example, a series of LTs addressing public dissatisfaction with local governance or health initiatives can prompt government bodies to re-examine their strategies. This role of LTs as a catalyst for policy discussions underscores their significance beyond mere reader engagement. Now is encouraging editorial dialogue. LTs also play an integral role in stimulating editorial dialogue. By publishing opposing viewpoints from readers, media outlets demonstrate a commitment to impartiality and open discussion. This diversity of thought enhances the quality of public debate and allows readers to see multiple sides of an issue. For example, after publishing an editorial on climate change, a newspaper might feature LTs both supporting and challenging the arguments made, enriching the conversation and fostering critical thinking among the masses. So, the example for catalysts for social change, LTs have historically served as catalysts for social change, particularly in the context of civil rights and social justice movements. One example could be the murder of George Floyd in 2020. Environmental advocacy. Environmental issues have increasingly found a voice between LTCs in Indian media. After the devastating floods in Kerala in 2018, readers wrote to the Times of India urging the government to take action against illegal construction and environmental degradation. Letters highlighted the need for sustainable practices and urged policymakers to prioritize ecological balance, leading to more extensive media coverage of governmental policies. Then is healthcare policy discussions. During the COVID-19 pandemic, LTEs became a critical space for citizens to express their concerns about healthcare access and government responses. For instance, letters published in the Indian Express raised issues about the availability of medical supplies, vaccination rollouts, and the overall preparedness of the healthcare system. Then is local governance and community engagement. LTEs often serve as a barometer for public opinion on local governance issues. For example, during the controversial implementation of a new housing development in a small town in the San Francisco Chronicle published letters from residents both supporting and opposing the project. So, what are the principles in editing the letter to the editor? The editor of a newspaper plays a crucial role in shaping public discourse through the selection of and editing of LTEs. This process not only involves making final selections but also adhering to specific principles that ensure the publication remains informative, engaging, and aligned with journalistic standards. Below are the key principles that guide the editing skills for LTE. So, number 1 is preference for concise letters. Editors often prioritize shorter letters during the selection process. Conciseness enhances readability and allows for more voices to be included in the publication. They strive to refine and shorten letters further without losing the essence of the message. This practice not only respects the time of readers but also encourages contributors to be part of the expression. Selection of unique and engaging letters that present unusual perspectives or captivating narratives are favored because they capture readers' attention more effectively. An editor may look for letters that discuss unique events, personal anecdotes, or innovative solutions to current problems. These letters not only engage readers but can also spark wider discussions in the community. Letters from prominent personalities. Correspondence from notable individuals such as politicians, academicians, or community leaders is often prioritized due to the weight their opinions carry. The editor is likely to publish the letter in its original form as it adds credibility and relevance to the discourse. Caution with anonymous submissions. Letters from unknown authors are approached with skepticism. The reliability of the information provided can be questionable, which poses a risk for publication. Editors are generally hesitant to publish anonymous letters unless they contain vital information that can be verified through additional sources. This principle protects the publication's credibility and maintains public trust. Then is emphasis on clarity and simplicity. Letters written in clear, straightforward language are preferred as they are more accessible to a broader audience. Editors edit letters to enhance readability, ensuring they are free from complex jargons or expressions. This practice promotes inclusivity, allowing more readers to engage with the content. Then is the alignment with editorial policy. Letters must align with the newspaper's editorial policy. Letters that contradict the publication's stance can create confusion about its position on various issues. An editor may try to reject letters that do not align with the newspaper's values or messages. This consistency helps maintain the publication's integrity and fosters trust with the readership. Then is the respect for confidentiality. When authors request anonymity for personal reasons, editors have an ethical obligation to respect that confidentiality. Editors should ensure that identifying details are omitted from the letter and refrain from disclosing the source of information, thus safeguarding the writer's privacy. Then is verification of sensitive information. Letters that discuss sensitive topics require careful scrutiny before publication. Editors must investigate claims made in such letters to ensure that they do not compromise national security or public safety. This verification process is essential for maintaining journalistic responsibility. Then is exclusion of propaganda and promotional content. Letters to the editor should primarily serve to inform and foster public dialogue rather than promote specific agendas or products. Editors filter out letters containing overt propaganda or marketing messages, ensuring that the primary focus remains on constructive public discourse rather than commercial interests. Then is sensitivity to national and cultural context. Letters that undermine national dignity or spread discontent are not published. Editors are mindful of the broader implications of the content they publish, striving to promote national pride and cohesion. Letters that are detrimental to the country's image are thus excluded from publication. The principles of writing and editing letters to the editor are foundation to the integrity and effectiveness of journalistic communication. By following these guidelines, editors ensure that the letters they publish contribute meaningfully and significantly to public discourse, reflecting diverse perspectives while upholding standards of clarity, accuracy, and ethical responsibility. Through careful curation and editing, LTEs can serve as a vital platform for community engagement and dialogue. A well-written letter to the editor is one of the most effective ways to communicate with authorities, officials, politicians, etc. Public feedback becomes necessary when a policy or issue starts to impinge upon the rights of citizens. Getting positive feedback regarding a decision is also important as it indicates the public's general mindset towards similar policies. Letters to the editors are a bridge through which such feedback can find a route from the citizens directly to the policymakers. They also play a role in informing other citizens about different perspectives and issues that are not highlighted through traditional news. A positive letter expresses favor towards a policy or a decision, a policy that is perceived by the citizens as beneficial. Will find its support through means like letters to the editor. For example, a letter expressing support for a policy that advocates for a female education. A negative letter explains your opposition to a pending or past decision. A negative letter is meant to express the public's dissatisfaction with a particular issue. The goal is to garner the attention of the concerned officers that can rectify the issue. For example, a letter expressing concern over a mandate that limits democracy and liberty. And then there are certain letters which are neutral in nature, which are written to give a holistic peer review on a particular issue. The benefits are mentioned alongside the possible drawbacks to express a nuanced understanding of the event. At times, the policy might affect different groups of people differently. In such a situation, a neutral letter can be written to present all perspectives. So, this lecture was about the relevance of letters to the editor, how it started, why it is important especially for a student of journalism to understand the nuances of writing a letter to the editor and how it can strongly help in bridging the gap between the society, the media and the policy makers. Hope you like this lecture and you will be able to make use of this lecture for preparing your notes in future. Thank you very much.